Hi, welcome to Hawk Profiles. I'm Erica Forsyth. We all know Miss Pat Chase in Administrative Affairs here at UMES as someone who always has a friendly smile and will offer you a helping hand. But where are we most likely to find her on a weekend afternoon? Tune in to find out on this episode of Hawk Profiles. Miss Chase, thank you for coming on the show today.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
We want to get to know you a little bit. Everyone sees you around campus and in administrative affairs. So today we want to just get to know you a little bit. So first, where are you from and who was your biggest influence growing up?
Well, I was actually born in Baltimore, Maryland, but my family moved here on the Eastern Shore when I was 8 years old, so I call the Eastern Shore home. I really feel like Eastern Shore is my home. As far as my biggest influence, I come from a large family. My grandparents, and they were a big part of our lives. My biological father died when I was very young, so my mother had that support system with her siblings, and it's always been a family thing. I have 7 sisters and 1 brother, so there are 9 of us, so you really don't have to go very far out of that circle to find influences. And my cousins, my mother's siblings, had large families, so family has always been important to us.
Okay, well, just impromptu here, having so many siblings, just one little bitty story from your childhood that had something to do with family.
Well, I can remember, I'm on the lower half of the siblings as far as the age groups. And my brother, being the only male, he was always trying to get me. He's a year younger than I am. So it was always, let's play cowboys and Indians. We'll do that, and when we're done, we'll play dolls. We'll play house with you. I always ended up doing cowboys and Indians, but we never got around to playing house and dolls, you know. He will deny that story if you ask him that now. But we were always so close. It was always, I guess, having such a large family. You really didn't have room for a lot of other people coming in, just taking care of that group. We weren't wealthy financially, but there was such a wealth of love, and the support system there was just great.
That is wonderful. Well, tell us a little bit about yourself. What's one of your favorite books or movies, and why did you enjoy it so much?
Okay, I am a Christian, and when The Passion of the Christ came out, we went as a church group to see it because the Bible is the best book that I know. You know, you may think it doesn't really apply to the daily life skills that we need, but it is. And I read it, and I read it on a regular basis. But seeing that movie brought the book to life, and it really made you think about a lot of things. It really made you search yourself and your beliefs and what you're doing in life and how that affects other people. So that was really mind-changing for me.
Okay, and then as far as if you could have lunch with anyone, past or present, then who would it be and why?
Well, I thought about that, and my mother died 3 years ago, and I thought if I could have some time with my mother to sit down and talk. There were so many things I think that we left unsaid. We take time, we take so many things for granted, and you feel that you always have time. I would love to be able to sit down and talk with her and maybe do some things and say some things that I didn't have an opportunity to do.
Wow, that's deep. That's wonderful. So tell us, I mentioned in the intro, where would we most likely find you on a weekend afternoon?
Well, Erica, the week is so busy with work and family and church. On a Saturday afternoon, I usually call that my time. So I usually take time out for me because Sundays, well, you'll find me in church, and that could be Sunday morning and afternoon. But Saturday afternoons, that's for me. That's for
Well,
me.
good. I'm glad
That's
to
for
hear
me.
you take some time
Yes.
for yourself, especially since you do come into contact with so many people here at UMES, and you take care of so many students, and you have people asking you questions all day long.
All the time.
So tell us about a time, though, when you felt really good about helping a particular student who was maybe in need or who was having a problem.
There are several stories I could tell, but I love people. I like that, you know, and I'm a people person. I don't just say that. I really consider myself a people person. And there are so many young people who come here, leaving home for the first time, you know, leaving that support system. There's this young lady in particular who came to the area. She got pregnant while she was in school, and there were a lot of challenges she had to face. We developed a relationship, and I became that support system away from home. Well, I'm just glad to say that she went on, she completed her studies, she graduated, and I am now the godmother of her daughter that she had. So we still stay in touch. We still stay in touch. And another instance, just short instance, when you feel that you've touched lives of students, you don't always realize how you've touched their lives. But I had students who come through, and I see them from freshman through senior year, they graduate. This past semester, a student came back and brought her baby sister in to introduce her to me. Said, this is one office that you need to know about, and Miss Chase, anything you need, just come see her. So it makes you feel good if you've made that kind of an impression on a young student. And my pastor has 3 grandsons who attended and graduated from UMES. So we have a lot of young people at our church, and a lot of the students need a house of worship away from home. So we have a lot of UMES students who worship with us, and you develop relationships that way, just to know that there's somebody you can go to talk to if you have a problem, or you just want to say hi. And I love that. I love that.
Well, I'm glad to hear that you like it, because I know that you are regarded around campus as one of those treasures, one of those people who is that go-to person who you're not going to get the door closed in your face, regardless of your problem, your issue. You really go above and beyond to help our students, and we really appreciate that.
I'm glad to hear you say that, but I just feel that you treat people the way you want to be treated. And, you know, I wouldn't want doors closed in my face. If I go to someone for help, I'd like to think if they can help me, they will.
Well, speaking of which, speaking of help, what about advice? First of all, in your own personal life, what's some of the best advice that you've ever received? And then what's your best advice for our UMES students?
Well, in life, I've always been told from a young child to be true to yourself. You know, the influence from the outside, it's so easy to try to want to fit in, to do things that you might not normally do. But be true to yourself, and then you won't have any misgivings. And don't be afraid to ask for help. You know, sometimes we can be stubborn thinking, an independent woman that I consider myself, I can do it myself. I don't need to ask anyone. Don't be afraid to ask for help, because we all need help at some point in life. So I'd like to see that same thing happen with our students here. You know, you come, you're leaving home for the first time, and that sense of freedom that you have not been used to, don't try to fit in and do things that you know you wouldn't be doing at home. Be true to who you are, and if you do that, you're not going to have regrets later. And don't be afraid to ask for help. We have students who are walking around campus not knowing where to go, who to see, and they come in and you try to help them, and they say, I didn't know that. But if you just ask, and I'm pretty sure there are a lot of people on this campus who are willing and able to help you, but sometimes the fear of not wanting people to know that you don't know. But it's a learning experience. Every day is a learning experience for all of us. So that would be advice I would give them.
Well, that is great, and I've so enjoyed talking to you today, nice. But we are out of time. But thank you so much for letting us get to know you a little bit better.
Well, thank you. I think I like to say what people see is what they get. You know, that's who I am. You know, the way I'm at work, I'm the same way at home.
I agree. Well,
okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And thank you for joining us on Hawk Profiles. We'll see you next time.